Welcome to the colored framing videos, part one, and hopefully only part. Timer started, 10 minutes. This has been, I've done this before, this video before, and this is nothing new. Someone did this about 6 years ago that I saw, and I didn't know how he did it. But essentially what he did is, I think he had different colored framing members. His new studs, his existing studs were this color, new studs were this color, and then I think he had trusses another color, and then rafters another color, ceiling joists another color, and floor joists the other colors. And I did a video on this, and I must admit I did a very poor job. And so this is sort of color framing revisited because I learned something today. And what started this whole thing is one time I was working on, what got me going again on this is I was working on a really complicated project. I said of course, but if everything's the same color, you can't tell what the, especially on a complicated one, you can't tell what's going on. So I really wanted to be able to meet with someone and talk to them about, well, this is where the trusses go. These are the trusses. These are the ceiling joists and blah, 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 blah. But this is, to me, is a mess. I mean, it's tough to tell, especially on a complicated project. So I got back into the colored things, and as I said, I did the video, and I did a really poor job because I didn't fully understand everything, or I didn't know how to. I'll show you what I did. By the way, look at this right here. I'm going to tell you, I got my trusses as yellow. My rafters with a soffit is a rafter material. That is actually a rafter material. Watch this. Look at this. That is fur framing roof rafter material. This yellow, fur framing general. Trusses always come in as yellow, okay? Not always. There's an exception to it, but for the most part, they're going to come in as yellow. My rafters for a roof that doesn't have a soffit is fascia. So what you can see here is I have this roof right here as being, this one has a soffit. And if it has a soffit, it comes in as roof rafter material. If it doesn't have a soffit, if they're in the soffit, of course the rafters are going to be the color of the fascia, which makes sense because if you look up underneath the soffit, you want those rafters for the most part to match the fascia. All right? And then I have ceiling joists as being orange. Now, when I did this video the first time, I couldn't figure out how to make the ceiling joists so orange. In fact, my statement was you can't control the color of the floor joists, and you can't control the color of the ceiling joists. By the way, look at the texture on these floors. It's running up and down. And on the ceiling joist, it's running the correct way. I don't know why what the difference is. But you see, the grain of the wood goes along the length of the lumber, which makes sense. But for my fascia 1, I really need to rotate this 0. I just do. So now you're going to see the grain going the right way. I'm still muddling with this. See, now that grain goes the right way for my fascias. Perfect. It goes the right way. If you look closely, you can see that it goes the right way for the ceiling joist. Perfect. Here's a beam. Beams are red. I make my beams red. That goes the right way. Now, why doesn't this go the right way? Should I rotate that 90 degrees for my floor joist? Yeah, now it's going the right way. I had to modify it. I don't know what. I think Chief reads it differently. What about the trusses? Yeah, trusses go the right way. The lumber, the wood grain goes the right way. And one other thing I want to show you before I forget is this. This is the foundation. Floor joist blue, beams red, posts green. See the posts are green? Sill plate yellow. I've defined my general framing material as yellow. And so my trusses are going to come in at yellow unless there's no soffit. If there's no soffit, it's going to come in the color of the fascia. But if it has a soffit, it's going to come in as yellow, which is general framing material. This is a beam I put in the plan, just a general framing member, yellow again, okay? So if I was to look at the floor plan to recap what my goal is here, it is to, I'll show you. This is my goal. Right there. Framing colors. Existing studs is the default fur color. My new studs are going to be darker. My beams are red to make them pop. My posts are green, complementary colors, beams, posts, complementary colors. My rafters are dark blue. My trusses which is actually general framing material, is yellow. My floor joists are light blue, and my ceiling joists are orange. Floor joist, ceiling, complementary colors. I don't know. Who cares? So, here's the question. Where's my other picture? I think I got the wrong picture yet. So, how do you control all these colors? Well, this is really quite simple. If you, F6. I got to get my floor plan. Sorry. Double click this. Materials. General framing materials. Remember what I told you? It's yellow. General framing materials I made yellow. And that's where you define it, right there. Posts, I'm making those green. And they come in green. General framing members, when I draw it, it comes in yellow. I don't have to change anything. Rafters, they come in blue. I don't have to change anything. Now, how do you get this material? This is what I did. I went to plan material, and I went to fur framing, and I copied it, and I made this, I renamed this fur framing extra, because I don't think there's anything else I can pick it out as. I blend the material with the texture, come over to here and make this pink. I don't know what's going to be pink. Hopefully nothing. I don't even know. I don't know what's going to be pink. But I've just created a new material, okay? And that's how I've created these materials. I just come into here, copy it, and whatever. Now, now what happens with this material for the studs at 16 and 24 inches on center? Those are already predefined. Actually, edit. I think you can. I forgot where you change this. You can change the spacing of your. Oh, there it is, right there. Spacing. 24 inches. So I could have studs at 32 inches if I want by just making a new material and changing that spacing. This is kind of cool stuff. Okay. What about my, now that's for studs. What about for framing? Oh, hang on. Shift C, sorry. Plan material. I want to edit. I want to see if I can edit my, check that out. Fur framing roof rafters, 16 inches on center. But see, that's really controlled. That is really controlled by the roof itself. Do you understand what I'm saying? The roof, I define the spacing by the roof plane itself. So this is overridden somehow. Cancel. So does every material give me that option of edit? Does every material give, see that? Fascia, I can't specify the, well, or drywall. Can I specify the space? Oh, because that's sheet. Now I'm learning this stuff. I mean, you don't have to get into this really. It's a sheet. Okay. So let's look at my studs. How are my studs defined? Edit. Edit that material. Framing. That's what gives you your spacing, the framing. You get what I'm saying? See, if it's brick strip, I never realized that. So the framing gives me this additional spacing. If it's in studs, I guess. I don't know. Isn't that interesting? I didn't know that until just now. There's so much crap I don't know. So anyway, so what I just talked about is existing studs and new studs. I showed you how I defined those. Control C, fur, and it's studs. Edit that material. It's defined as a frame material. I can set the spacing and I can change the color. So first studs at 16. That's just the default color that comes with Chief. Now my 16-inch new edit. I actually just darkened that texture color. I just darkened it so it stands out more. Okay? So I told you how to do this studs. What about beams? Shift C. Fur. You know, I copied the fur framing, renamed the fur framing beam, gave it a red, kept the texture, and that's it. I'm going to tell you about beams. Beams do not come in automatically red, period. If you got a beam, you got to color it red. Posts will come in automatically. Posts come in automatically. I'm going to put a post right in the middle of this room. Post, right? There. Cancel. Yeah. See? Timer done. See, I got that green post. It came in automatically green. Now I'm gonna get. I gotta turn this thing off before I screw my plan up. I'm working on this plan. I just measured this thing today. Delete it. I don't need that post there. Okay, so I told you about beams. Posts come in automatically. Rafters come in dark blue automatically, unless there's no soffit on the roof plane, and then it's going to take on the color of the fascia. I'm going to come to trusses in a minute. Floor joist and ceiling joist. How do you define that? I'll show you. Go to defaults. Floor defaults. Ceiling finish. Not ceiling finish. Structure. Ceiling structure. Why isn't this right? It should be, now I should have orange ceiling joists, okay? I don't know why I have orange ceiling joists already. That's floor 1 defaults. What about the floor structure? Shit, yeah. I don't know what the OSB, yeah. And so the fur framing floor joist comes into and it's lumber and blah, blah, blah. So this is how and this is what I missed last time, you can control the plan material right here. Okay? Now why did that just do that? Stop. Sorry about that. I got things fixed again. So back to what I was talking about. The floor joist, I just explained how you define the floor joist and the ceiling joist, and it's simply in the defaults. Default settings for the floor, this particular floor, edit, and the ceiling structure is ceiling joist, and I gave it a plan material like that. And that's what I missed last time, and when it came to the floor structure, I missed this too. That's the floor material. So now I got the different colors. So all these colors are coming in automatically with the exception of the beams. If I draw a new beam, I'll go up, I'll do a, watch this, I'm gonna do a, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna do a rafter beam. Roof beam right there, and I think I can put a roof beam in right there. And what color do you think that's going to come in? I think it's going to come in, yeah, but display it. It's going to come in blue. Oh. It came in blue because it recognizes it as a raptor. Suppose I put in a, just lower framing. Suppose I put in a ceiling beam. What color is that going to come in at? Orange. Orange. Okay. Now suppose I go down to foundation and I put a new beam in right here. This is a floor ceiling beam, right? I'm going to put it right down the middle here. What color do you think this is going to come in at? Blue. And so okay, so I'm going to back up. They come in, if it's a floor beam, it's going to come in the floor color. If it's a ceiling beam, it's going to come in as the ceiling joist color. If it's a roof beam, it's going to come in as the roof rafter color. Delete. Suppose I put a beam in right, a roof beam in, oh, I don't need that, delete that, delete this. Suppose I put in a roof beam right here. Now, just the difference between the two are, see that? Look at that. Look at that. This took on the color of the rafters because there's no soffit on that. These took on the color of these rafters because there is a soffit on that roof plane, okay? Now, here's something interesting. These two roofs do not have a soffit, so they came in at the fascia color, including the trusses. Now, here's something a little interesting. And you see, you can tell just by this that I have trusses halfway across, and then I went to conventional framing right here because I have ceiling joists. You got that? Now, suppose I take this roof plane right here. Let's change this roof plane right here, tab, U, and give it a soffit. I got to finish this up pretty quick before the CFO. Okay, it has a soffit, so it takes on the color of the roof rafter framing. That all makes sense, doesn't it? Now, this is the one thing I want to point out to you real quick, and that is, you understand this roof plane right here, the front roof plane does not have a soffit. The roof plane on the back does have a soffit. What color do the trusses come in at? General. They took on the fact that one of these roof planes had a soffit, so they didn't take the fascia color, they took the general material color, assuming both roofs had soffits, but of course they don't. And I tried building these trusses front to back and back to front, and no matter what, it took on the fact that one of these things had a soffit and the other one didn't. Anyway, that's it. I'm done. That's it. I hope I covered everything. So all the colors come in automatically, with the exception of a general framing member out here in the middle of nowhere. And so if you really want to make your beams pop, which I normally do, I would just simply select that color right there, and I come back and say, oop, that's a beam. Oh, why can't I do that? Oh, how about I do this? A U, material, rafter, fur, framing, beam, it's red. And it just makes it pop, because that's a big structural member. And I take this, and hopefully I can copy, paste that. Why can't I do that? Something's in the way, I guess. I don't know. Who cares? But anyway, that's what I would do. I'm done. Thank you.